Hey planners, it's Tay of Shantae Plans, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And welcome back to my Planning 101 series. In this series, I take different planning tips and techniques and break them down step by step to share them with you. The series was specifically created with new planners in mind to offer beginner tips, but it's also for anyone who just wants to incorporate any new tips or techniques into their planning style, or go over some tips and techniques they may already know. If you just feel like watching this video, I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. So in this video, we're starting with the basics. I wanted to go over and kind of start from the beginning, go over some of the basic things that are included in most of the kits that we get. And kits are formatted just a little bit different depending on the shop, but there are certain things that are pretty standard throughout most kits, which is like full boxes, half boxes, quarter boxes, third boxes, and quarter boxes and third boxes are actually what we're going to be going over today. And so I have this little mock spread that I put together for myself because I thought it would be most efficient for me to try to create examples within sort of the normal parameters that we're working with when we're working with our planner, because we don't just work on a blank page. By the time we get to using quarter boxes and third boxes in our spread, I typically have the base of my spread down. So I thought this would be sort of the most realistic way to create an example. And so this is just sort of a mock outline of what a spread looks like. And then this is the box page that comes in most kits. And on this page, you'll find your quarter boxes and third boxes. And what that's referencing, if you're new to the planner community, is the height of the box, and that's all in respect to the full box. And so what you're getting is either a third of it or a quarter of it or a half of it in the other sizes of the boxes that are included in the kit. So today our focus is going to be on quarter boxes and third boxes. And these are such fun boxes because they help give your spread a lot of structure, right? Visually, your full boxes are going to anchor a lot of your spread because they're such large pieces in your columns. And so they create a strong visual impact on the page because it's a very big box. But as you're writing on your planner, and there are different styles, and some people like to write directly on their planners, and those are called white space plan. That's called white space planning, in which you don't completely cover up the column. And then there are some styles where people put down like foiled overlays, and then they only layer their boxes on top of that. So many different planning techniques, but this focus for this class is going to incorporate white space planning, and it's going to go over decorating some of these styles of boxes that commonly come in kits so that we can try out some fun techniques and things like that. So let's go ahead and get started with this column on Monday. And I'm going to start off with a quarter box. I've got a little bit of space here, and actually typically I would have a header underneath that date cover, which is something I might as well just go ahead and drop down a cute little header. I'm liking this floral with the wood grain. I feel like I kind of like that one. So I'm just gonna pop that header in there. So cute. And I think that's important just to get a kind of a feel for the space that you're working with. And I'm going to pull in a quarter box. And so I want to set it down, but I don't want to press it down. So I'm just going to place it there and give myself kind of an idea of what I want. And I love that with quarter boxes and third boxes, they run the full width of the column, so it really gives the page a lot of structure, which is fantastic. Most kits these days either come with some sort of floral deco or have a floral deco option that you can purchase and add on. And we're going to go ahead and get started with florals as our first decorative element, and in incorporating that with our quarter box. Now, the main thing I think for me personally is figuring out what my icon is going to be. That's going to tell me a lot about how I want to decorate around it, because essentially I'm putting down a box that I need to write in and write out whatever the activity is that I'm marking. I'm going to place an icon next to it, and then there's going to be deco around it. So my focus for this is figuring out first, what's the icon I'm going to be using? where I'm going to place it on this box, and then I'll figure out what's the best way to decorate around it. So let's go ahead and I'm going to take this cute little luggage one, and I think this one caught my attention because at the moment I just got home from vacation and I need to unpack my suitcase, which is what I'm going to go ahead and write here because that's at the top of my brain, and I think that makes a great example. So my first thought is in placing the icon just off to the left of this quarter box. Is going to give me plenty of room to write out unpack your suitcase. And so before I place that down, I'm thinking, okay, I've got this cute little colorful icon, cute little colorful box. I definitely would love to pull in some of these florals, and then also I absolutely want to make sure I pull in some foil because there's a lot of color happening here and not too much foil around it. We've got a little bit of foil with the header underneath there, but I can still incorporate tons more foil around this. So let's go ahead and see if we can jazz this up. So the first thing I'm thinking is how pretty this is, and then I like these leaves, so cute. So I think that I'm hoping that doesn't blend in too much with what's already happening with this box. I think I'm going to place this like this, and I'm angling this away because I'm actually already thinking in my head about pulling in a foiled leaf that I want to angle in the other direction. And so I have these foiled leaves. These are so cute. Oh, absolutely. That's going to look really good. And then let's bring in this beautiful pop of that sunflower color. And then when I place my icon next to that, ooh, we lost our green leaf. Okay, let's see if I can adjust that just a bit. There we go. Alrighty. We've got that down. And if you're anything like me, life is simply not complete until I incorporate some sort of dot cluster. This is optional. But for me, it has become essential when it comes to my planning. I adore these cute little dot clusters. I think they add just a really fun finishing touch. And I love the little detail that it adds to the page, and I just think it's so cute. I'm going to add one there, and I think I want to put one in the corner of the box, sort of opposite. And I'm placing this here because we have a lot happening on this side of the box, but placing that little cluster here and then placing one at a diagonal right across from it is going to create a lot of, is going to be really appealing visually. When placing down clusters and things like this, I think they work best if you are using two of them to put them in a diagonal line. If I were to put a third one here, I'd want to put it probably in this area here if I were to place another one. And the reason I would do that is because if you're placing three small elements like this, if you put them in a triangle, it's going to create really great visual interest. I wouldn't want to put it like, say for example here, even though that still creates a triangle, it creates an odd one. If I put it here, it creates a triangle around the image and then around the words that are going to be there. And so that is going to work better than if I tried to place it here. Then what happens is what I'm actually doing is visually drawing a square around a square, or a rectangle around a rectangle. And for me, that flattens out the image and it keeps it from being as visually dynamic. If you place it here again, you go back to that triangle that's around a rectangle, and that ends up being more visually dynamic than if I were to place this here, because it starts drawing a line, and the suitcase, the icon, actually ends up acting as as the fourth corner of this now square that's placed around a rectangle. And there are some things that just we pick up on visually, subconsciously, that we don't even catch consciously. But when you are aware of placement and where you're putting things on your spread, it helps it be more visually dynamic than if you were to do things that may end up accidentally flattening out your spread when you're not even meaning to. So we've decorated our quarter box, and we did this by creating a cluster off to our left side. We obviously could alternate that and put it on the right side if we wanted to write on this side of the box. And so this is just a fun option if you want to decorate one of your quarter boxes. You can always create a cluster in the side. I recommend if you're going to do that, start by thinking about the icon that you're going to place there. Then pull in something that the floral that I pulled in was a coordinating but totally different color. That pop of that yellow sunflower underneath the icon really helps because we've got a lot of that same tone going on, where the luggage is pretty similar to the color of the box itself as well as to the leaves, and then the foil brought in a balance with a pop of color as well and a little bit of shine, which is so pretty. So all of that helps create visual balance and helps us decorate our quarter boxes in a way that is really pretty and appealing. So we've got that down, and I've made my little note to self to unpack my suitcase. Are you like me and it takes you a couple of days after you get home from a vacation to unpack your suitcase, or are you someone who's actually organized with their life and gets that taken care of more immediately? Next, we're going to go ahead and use a third box. And so this third box, we're going to do the same thing. Oh God, that's going to drive me crazy. Okay, so see, and this is another one of the reasons why I wanted to have sort of a mock spread going on around this, because I would never do this. I love this box so much. I think it is absolutely adorable. I would have put it here if I wanted to have this in this column. And the reason I would do that is because right next to it in the neighboring column, I have this full box that has that same wood grain print. And so placing the two of those right next to each other would drive me batty. That is a personal thing. There's nothing wrong if you like that look and it doesn't bother you, go for it. For me, that's too much wood next to wood. If I had put it at the top of the column, I would have really liked that. But to have it down at this part of the column when I've got wood right next to it, ugh, no, absolutely not. So we're just gonna pick a different third box because that's not happening. Let's go with this one. This is a super cute box, and it's actually got a little bit of deco already on it, which is nice. We've got a little bit of foil detail in the corner there. And I'm going to push this down just a bit because I'm going to bring some florals going across the top of this box. So I'm going to place my box down there. I'm not pressing it down, I'm just placing it down. And again, going back to my little floral deco sheet here, and I've got a lot of fun florals to work with. I'm going to do something similar to what's going on in the sidebar here and show you all how I created that particular technique. And so let's take this floral. This is so pretty. And what I want to do, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut this floral in half. And I want to go from the longest point on the floral to the longest point lengthwise. And I'm just going to splice this right down the middle. Let's see how that comes out. Oh, I like that a lot. Okay. So now I've got this floral piece that's cut in half, and I can tuck that right behind my box, or I can place it right on top of my box. And if I place it on top of my box, I would want to come in with a trim sticker, something very thin and foiled like this on transparent matte paper to line up right on top of the floral so that that line becomes seamless. Let me go ahead and place this down on top so I can show you what I mean. And then I'll show you a technique where it's tucked behind, which is definitely my personal preference. For me, my planning style, I like tucking my florals behind the box. I just think visually that looks so good, but I do want to go ahead and pull this in front just to show you what I mean by this particular example. So I'm gonna press this down gently onto the box. I'm keeping the box itself lifted a little bit off the back of the page because I absolutely want to pull some floral leaves behind that, because we've got the cute little colorful florals. I really enjoy layering foiled leaves behind colorful florals. I think it adds a lot of visual interest to it, and it's a really beautiful complement to all of our colorful florals that are happening there. I'm mindful of the direction that the leaves are going and how I'm placing them down, so that it's going to complement what's happening. Oh, so cute. What's happening here. So we've got some leaves there. I kind of feel like it could use something right in the center. As I was pointing there, I accidentally pressed it. Sorry about that. Get back up, buddy. Okay. Can I place one more here? I think would be cute. I like that a lot. And I want to take advantage of these cute little dot clusters that we've got on this sheet as well, which I think would be a fun accent there. So adorable. Okay. And now we've got that harsh blunt line going right across the top. If you're going to do this technique, you definitely want to make sure that the sticker sheet you're using is on transparent matte paper. Transparent matte paper tends to mesh into the sticker you place it on top of really well, because the paper itself, when you place it down, is very seamless. So this is transparent matte paper as opposed to glossy clear paper, and so when you're shopping for your planner stickers in the drop down menu, it'll give you the option to choose the type of paper that you want, and it'll either say transparent matte, premium matte, or clear glossy. Those tend to be the common options, and transparent matte gives you the option to really buy foiled stickers that really mesh well into the page. And so by placing that down on top of that, we've covered up that harsh line where the florals met the box, and then we've created a lot of extra fun shine and visual interest with our cute little foil divider placed there. So we're going to do the same thing as we did in the box above, and we're going to place down an icon, and let's stay pertinent with the theme that we seem to have going here, in which we unpack our suitcase and then do some laundry. Why am I using, okay, let's not, because, and the only reason I'm not going to do that, most of the icons in my collection actually, and I'm using the icons that are in this kit because they're here and they're handy, but I actually have a pretty extensive collection of foiled icons. And these are my favorite types of icons to use, and what you'll see me use most in my spreads. And with that in mind, let me go ahead and pull a foiled icon, because you get a totally different look when using a foiled icon versus using a colorful icon. And I love colorful icons and icons that come with the kit because it's going to match your kit perfectly. And then there are also different doodle icons that you can purchase if that's your preference. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with using it, but I do think if I'm going to use colorful icons or doodle icons, then the thing that additionally becomes something I'm mindful of is the color of the icon that I'm using on, and the color of the box that I'm layering it on. Whereas we had the green suitcase layered on the green box, we've now got the orange laundry basket, and I definitely could layer the orange laundry basket on top of the orange box. I don't love that idea as much. Here's also why I prefer my boxes to be super plain. I don't love this because I definitely wouldn't want to put this here, because that, I don't like that. If I were doing this, I would totally cover up the foil, and just because I've already added my own deco, I don't necessarily need this here. When I'm placing my icons in my spreads, I tend to alternate them from one side to the other. That's not necessary and it's not required, but I just personally like, I just personally like the look that it creates when I alternate my icons. But I've got this happening here, and if I place an icon there, it flattens out this look. It makes it less visually interesting for me personally. So let's see if I can get a decent example on here for you guys. So I'm going to take one of my foiled icons just to use as an example for this. And I've got this YouTube icon. I can go ahead and use that to just mark watching some YouTube. It's also good for marking uploading something onto YouTube. Oh, that's gonna kill me. I can't decide which is annoying me more. Having having my icon be over here so it covers up this, which would be my preference, but then having my two icons lined up is driving me nuts. But having this here is also driving me nuts, which is really interesting because what I ended up doing was placing a little foiled piece in the corner here opposite my icon. Here's the difference: scale. Scale is what is messing this up. This is actually a rather, even though it's what you would consider relatively small and tucked into the corner, because of how much I have going on up here, it would really be best to not have anything happening in that corner, to have that be open. I do not love that idea. Oh God, I don't love that so very much. And it's at this moment that I also want to point out that everything I'm sharing are tips, techniques, and personal preference, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with because there's no wrong way to decorate your box. There's no wrong way to place down your stickers in your planner. So what I want to share are tips, techniques, and suggestions. I don't want it to come across as though these are any sort of hard and fast rules for how you are supposed to plan. That's absolutely not what I'm doing. I think any way you decide to plan in your planner is the right way to plan. And it's all about having fun. And as long as you're having fun in placing stickers on the page, you are already planning correctly. Let's go ahead and place the sticker here so I can stop holding it. That is driving me absolutely bananas. I do not like that in the least bit. I really hate that little deco in the corner, which it was not there. But I'm going to pretend it's not there and move on so I don't drive myself batty. And then, because we've got our box here, one of the things that I like to do, especially if I'm gonna place another box down underneath that, is to put a fun little divider in between that's foiled. Helps break things up. And this particular divider, because boxes in and of themselves create a lot of structure on the page, but they are very blocky. And then having this fun little leaf blowing divider, it's a curved line, so it creates visual movement and helps give balance to the spread. So it's not just blocky quarter box, blocky full box, blocky third box, the different little dividers and things like that. And even this header with its curved wavy line and detail helps break up some of that just block type style. And I find when I add in those types of stickers, it really helps break things up, makes things look really good on the page. If I'm being honest, it would not be my personal preference to add another box to this column. I simply wouldn't do it. If I were to do anything, I'd want to pull in maybe like a little fancy box or something like that. Or I would just go ahead and decorate the page and just, and then just write directly onto the planner. So I'm going to go ahead and just stick this floral down here. Finish this off. Wow, that is a big floral. All right, let's finish off this column and put our cute little laundry basket here. And I can mark washing my laundry after I've unpacked my suitcase. So that finishes off our column over there, since I've decided to make this into a mock spread. But getting back to the point, in utilizing our fantastic third and quarter boxes. So as we're going from one column to the next, I'm mindful of what's happening in the first column that I've created. So I've got a quarter box here. If I'm going to place something here, I would definitely want it to be a third box or a half box, or maybe even one of the fun, cute little square boxes that are in the kit, or the half circles, something so that it's not the same exact thing right next to it. That's my personal planning style. For some people, they really like the idea of having that very structured look going across their columns, where they would place another quarter box right next to it and continue that along the columns going throughout the week. If that's your preference, that's definitely a style option that you have. For me, I like having it be a little more eclectic in the way that it looks going across. So I don't enjoy, I wouldn't want the bottom of this box to line up right next to the bottom of this box or the top of it. And I also don't want these boxes to be the same width. So I would try to find a way to, especially because I've got a quarter box right there, it's super easy to put a third box where it starts and finishes a little bit lower, starts a little bit higher. I'm going to add in another header there because I do like that look going across. So let's pull in another header just so that we've got our consistency there. I don't want it to be that one. Pull in one of the confetti headers. And I've set my box down. I haven't pressed it down. And again, I'm thinking about what icon I'm going to place here and what I'll be marking. So cute little planner and pen here, and I can use that to mark a planning session. So we're going to use this icon. I want to pull an example of lace trims. So we've done an example of florals, in which you can do florals to the side, you can do florals to the top. And what I want to do now is show you that you can trim your boxes with cute little trim style stickers. So there's tons of different options. You got different types of border stickers and different types of dividers and trims and things like that. So there's all of these different options of different types of stickers that are available in the planner community that you could use to pull off this technique. And what you're looking for is anything that has that is kiss cut around the design, but has one edge that is a straight flat edge, and that's going to help you pull off this particular technique. I think I'm going to go with these, and what I want to do is just line this up top and bottom with this box. So I'm going to press that down and just trim my box top and bottom. And I particularly like this combination with this wood box because I feel like wood is kind of rugged, and trimming it gives it a little bit more of a dainty element happening to it. And I tend to lean dainty when it comes to my preferences. So we have these beautiful florals. I'm going to take some of these florals to layer behind my cute little icon. Kind of like that right in the corner there. And then I can place my icon right on top of there. I absolutely want to bring some sort of foil into that as well. Let's see what I can do. Just one of these larger cluster stickers might be cute. Place that there. Pull in the clusters to decorate that. Awesome. We're going to do one more example of a trim style box, and this time I'm going to take into account that this has the little foil embellishment in the bottom corner that I want covered up, and I'm going to flip this box upside down because I have my icon that I know is in this corner over here, so my next icon is going to be on this side. So I'm flipping this box upside down because I'm going to cover up that foiled element, and I want to show you how I would trim around this box. I'm going to use a different style of trim. This one's going to be a bit thicker and bolder, and let's go ahead and use 2 of these. Depending on the style of your trim, sometimes they have a little bit of a tiny bit of a clear border underneath the foil detail around them, and you'll notice that when you see your stickers. If you have stickers like that, you can kind of tuck the bottom part of that clear line underneath your sticker, or you could place it on top. With it being, if it's transparent matte, it's not going to be a big deal because it's going to blend in. These stickers that I'm using actually are on clear glossy. They're not on transparent matte. These are some older stickers of mine, and so this was before transparent matte stickers were a thing in the planner community, and that is why I am tucking them underneath this box, because clear glossy paper doesn't mesh as well into it, so you would absolutely see the line, and I don't like that look. I like it to have a more clean and seamless look. Turning my planner to the side so I can get underneath here and get a better angle on this, so that I can tuck this in and it's somewhat straight. I always feel like whenever I'm doing sort of a class or an example, it's where it's the most difficult for me to just lay my stickers down straight. My brain is so focused on trying to like teach and think and trying to do so many things at once. Whereas when I'm typically planning, I'm just sitting listening to music and not having to multitask as much. And so when I do find myself in situations where I'm trying to do a couple things at once, it gets more complicated. And so again, I want to go ahead and place down the floral that's covering up that foil piece that was there. So I did not need that and didn't want that there. And let's go ahead and just use the telephone icon and just mark calling a friend. And again, I'm layering that over the floral. And the floral here is definitely optional. If you don't care for utilizing florals as much, you can totally just place your icon. Let's see. Let me just give you an example of what that would look like. Without the floral, you can totally place your icon there. You've got the trim detail going around the box, which is a cute way to decorate and embellish it. But I like to layer a lot. And so I really love that extra layered look of having the floral behind it, and then also incorporating a cute little cluster right in the bottom corner. And again, that a lot of this comes down to your personal preference and just how you want to decorate things, because again, this box already had a foil detail on it. If you didn't want to add anything to it and you just want to put down the boxes and use them the way they come in the kit, you absolutely can, and it's a fun way to plan, and you can enjoy creating gorgeous spreads without doing a lot to them. But I really enjoy embellishing my quarter boxes and third boxes, and thought it would be fun to share some of these techniques and show you how I do that step by step, and what thought goes into how I decorate my boxes when I'm incorporating them into a spread, and trying to get a good balance with placement, where they're going to fall on the page in respect to the other elements that are happening around them, and just share some really fun and basic techniques. I'm going to continue doing this series. We're going to move on and take a look at decorating half boxes and full boxes. We'll incorporate some more advanced type layering techniques as we circle back around to utilizing quarter boxes and third boxes, as well as fun little fancy shaped boxes and that come in sticker kits, and that'll all be in future 101 videos. So this one was focused on quarter boxes and third boxes. I hope that this was helpful and gave you all some ideas, particularly if you're new to planning. I hope that you found this video helpful and inspiring, and I hope you all have a great time planning. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next video. Bye.